Still on vacation, leaving me here with this Lurdo. Anyway, hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to my Expanded Universe, show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order, as best I know how. Alright folks, let's switch gears a little bit and let's go back to the comic books. We're going to go to Star Wars Tales 14, this one's titled The Lesson. Written by Adam Gallardo, this stars Padawan Tuala as she learns what true destiny in the Force is all about. I know I've kind of crapped on Star Wars Tales. I wasn't a big fan, especially at the very beginning of that series. I really thought it was awful. I actually stopped getting them, I think, after a while, and then had to go back and buy the trades. But I just thought it was so awful. Well, then later on the series did get better. And doing these videos, I have been rereading a few of them, and they're okay. This story is okay. It's nothing big. It doesn't connect to anything. A better comic book would be the next one I'm going to talk about, Star Wars Republic number 41, written by John Ostrander, titled Sacrifice. Now, this is an Aya Sakura adventure, and basically, I mean, it's a one-shot. There is no overall story arc in this one. It's just a one-shot adventure with her because they're building up for the big 50th issue, which I'll talk about in another video. But in this one, Aya Sakura is definitely a fan favorite by this time. Everyone loves her, and for good reason, too. She is a very interesting character. I love Quinlan Voss a little bit more, but of course, you got to love Aya Sakura because they're like Batman and Robin, right? I don't know which one's Batman either because she's really good, too. But John Ostrander is a great writer. I should also mention that the art is really good in this. I haven't been mentioning that about the comic books, but a lot of these comic books did come with great art. Some came with art like Knight Errant. That comic book series was just awful. It just looked bad. But the reason that kind of series makes me so upset is that I know what they used to have. They used to have excellent artists. Now, art doesn't make a story great, by the way. I believe that first and foremost, you must have a good story. And then the art can come with it. You want good art to pair up, but if there's great art out there and there's not a good story, heck, look at any DC or Marvel book out there. Most of them, not all of them. They got this fancy art, but just no story and no feeling. So for me, it was always the story first. But I don't know who the artist was. If someone does, put in the comments. But anyway, I thought the art was really good and well done at the time. Dark Horse did a solid job with that, and it's John Ostrander. What else do you need to know, right? Now, the next thing on our list is Boba Fett's third book, Maze of Deception. This one was written by Elizabeth Hand, and it basically concludes the story of Aya Sakura and Boba Fett as they seek Jango's, treasure vault or whatnot. Aya Sakura has the location, Boba Fett has the passcode, and together they must work together. But will betrayal happen? Who knows? Now, this is where they switched authors from Terry Bisson to Elizabeth Hand. I have no idea why. Maybe Terry Bisson was hired just to write the first two, kind of like how Dave Wolverton was hired to write the first Jedi Apprentice and then Jude Watson took over. Maybe it was the same with Terry Bisson. But Elizabeth Hand was a great choice. Already, I could see the difference in the writing, and it started to pull me in. This is where I started getting interested in the Boba Fett books. I was like, okay, this one isn't so bad. The only thing that kind of made me upset about these books was that this one didn't come in hardback like the first two did. Now, I don't know if the first two were just a promotion, but the third one just came out in paperback. I was like, oh man, come on! Now, another thing I like about Elizabeth Hand is she gets a lot of stuff and pulls from the EU material out there. She knows her stuff, is what I'm saying. She uses a planet from the old Marvel comic book series. I can't think of it. It's Argua, A-A-G-U-A, Agua. How do you pronounce that? Anyway, but she uses that planet. I had to look it up. At that point, I was like Wikipedia and everything. I was like, oh yeah, from Marvel, And then she also put in a reference to the Warlords of Balmorra, the Ryder Wenham storyline I told you that was in the Star Wars Adventures for Episode 2. Those books, yeah, she wrote a story that kind of connected the Django's Warlords of Balmorra story and put it into this one. Mainly just referenced it. But still, the point is that she at least made the effort to make connections to everything. And that's, again, this is one of the reasons why I love the Expanded Universe so much, because here she is writing a children's book. And she references another children's book that never made it out to retail. It was just only if you were part of this exclusive membership did you get that book. And maybe if you read that little short story, she put that into hers. Beautiful. I love that. Something that really shouldn't matter, but she put it in anyway, and like they say, it's the thought that counts. And I believe Elizabeth Hand put a lot of thought into these Boba Fett books. And I don't think Terry Bisson did. I think he was just hired to do a job. He wrote the books and put it out and then went on his merry way. But Elizabeth Hand, from what I can tell, it just feels more like Star Wars. And making all those connections, of course, show that, hey fans, I know you're out there. Because she knew there were losers like me out there who was getting the little children's adventure books and then reading the little Boba Fett book and going, ooh, they mentioned it. And I don't know if it exactly went like that, but it went something similar to that. But anyway, the series definitely gets a little bit better on book 3 and is in good hands with Elizabeth Hand. Okay, that's a bad joke. I'm going to go. See you next time, folks.